to Our Paramotor Nation. Paramotor Nation is sponsored by iFly Indiana Powered Paragliding Training. iFly Indiana provides USPPA certified powered paragliding paramotor training on their equipment or yours at prices as low as $2,000. Lone Star Paramotor. Lone Star Paramotor offers foot launch training classes, trike training classes, transition to trike classes, and confidence builder classes near San Antonio, Texas. They are a USPPA certified flight school as well as an Aviator PPG Alliance partner. One Up Adventures and ParamotorProps.com love their passion for paramotor and adventure. They also supply the world's best carbon fiber propellers to U.S. paramotor pilots at extremely competitive prices and with fast and free shipping. Wisconsin Flight Sports. It's their goal to provide a safe, affordable, fun, and accessible training program to individuals interested in entering powered paragliding. Fly PPG discovered powered paragliding, exclusive Midwest importer and distributor of adventure paramotors, trikes, and wings. All of their training is done on their private, highly manicured airfield located on the 45-acre farm. Fly My PPG. They are a USPPA certified Aviator PPG Alliance school offering personalized paramotor training, customized motors, and paragliders, service and repairs. ParaOrange.com. ParaOrange brings you quality products handmade in the U.S. for paramotoring and paragliding sports. On their website, click eRebate and follow directions. Use promo code OPN for a 10% discount on all items Wicked Wings logo. Customize your wing with a Wicked Wing logo today. Email Craig Taylor for more information. Aviator PPG offers a unique service-based method of learning to fly. They have spent countless hours crafting a paramotor course unlike any other, centrally focused on the student. Aviator Paramotor offers a vast array of top-quality paramotors, paragliders, and more, all paired with their industry-leading customer service. Make sure you visit Our Paramotor Nation at www.ourparamotornation.com. See all upcoming episodes, events, and so much more information. Check out our previous episodes, visit our store, and get some of our gear. Thank you for joining Our Paramotor Nation. And now it's time to begin the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Our Paramotor Nation. We have such a great show in store for you tonight. We have Shannon Michaels here, getting everything set up. And before we get into that, I'm going to talk. We got PPG Gorilla is going to be joining us here in a second. He's just finishing up some family stuff here. Got Kate Bowen, got Dave Ruff is here as well. But we just had that very, very, very high quality. We had to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for that video to go over our sponsors. So I appreciate everybody in chat recognizing what incredible video quality it was. Thank you very much. But I do want to talk about our sponsors because we really, really appreciate our sponsors. They've been just a huge asset to us. They're here for us because we're here for everybody in the paramotoring community. And so, I really want to spend just a few moments just to talk about them and their contribution. One Up Adventures, Travis and Kyle, they reached out. They said they're going to be giving away some stuff here on the show, T-shirts, some gifts, gift certificates in the weeks to come for paramotor props. So, if you do need a paramotor prop, go see them out. They have got really great rates for their props, and they get them out very, very quick. It's always good to have a spare prop on hand because, maybe you're, I don't know, maybe something happens. Maybe you have a failed launch, you break a prop, or, maybe your speed bar goes into your prop and you break half a prop, like someone I know at the Palm Bay Fly-In. But give them a call. Fly PPG Discovered Powered Paragliding. That is Michael Mixer. Michael Mixer is going to be donating a T-shirt for tonight for our giveaway. And let's see here. There's a really cool shirt too. I'm going to show it to you right here. There we go. How's that? Doesn't that look nice? Adventure Paramotors. Very nice. Very good. Thank you, Michael Mixer, for that. We really appreciate that. Let's see here. A couple things about Mixer. He's actually celebrating his 10th anniversary at his school. They started off with 6 students, and now they're up to about 85 students per year. In 15, they built a custom hangar on their airfield. They've added RV hookups, Wi-Fi, fire pits, restrooms, and so on. He really takes great pride in his manicured, almost golf course-like field. He is a tow operator, and when you go out to him, if you decide to get trained out there, 15 to 20 tows prior to flying with the motor on your back. He's also a U.S. importer for Adventure Paramotors, which they build right on site. Fly My PPG, Mike, Justin, and Bob. Their next class is going to be on May 10th. They are 3 full-time instructors that stay on site during the duration of the 7 to 10 day class period. Classes have a maximum of 6 students, so you really get some good attention while you're there. They follow the US PPA syllabus for training both indoor classwork and outdoor, as well as ground handling skills. They use motor simulators, towing, video feedback, just to name a few things, and your course includes all of their PPG equipment, including top-of-the-line wings and manufacturers such as Ozone, Gin, Mac Para, as well as motors from Air Conception, Nitro 200, Parajet Maverick, Atom 80, and Moster 185, as well as Sky Fox Paramotors. Wisconsin Fly Sports, they were just on a couple weeks ago. Of course, I know Dave and Rick both got helmets from them. They're really amazing helmets. They've got some exciting things coming up, and they've asked me not to share them as of yet, but some really exciting things in the weeks to come. They are also a distributor for SkyMax and now Soul Paragliders. Lone Star Paramotor, Ron Torin. I was so excited to see Ron this past Thursday night on Paragliding Talk. He's such a great guy. You know, rather than talk about maybe the school so much, I'll give you some feedback that I read about Lone Star, and this is what I read. This person writes, I rarely give positive reviews unless I'm blown away. Well, I'm blown away. Ron's and his team, Parker, Travis, Alexis, and Cameron, were amazing. Very patient, very thorough, and a perfect amount of seriousness and fun. I feel like I have met my new best friends and wingman. Can't wait to fly with them again. So great reviews there for Lone Star Paramotor. I Fly Indiana, Kevin Kemble. Classes are on hold right now, but pending as soon as the state reopens, he'll have his next class, and that's scheduled to be May 2nd through the 10th. Kevin is a big supporter of our show, one of our very first sponsors as well, very first guest on the show. And he let me know he's going to be giving away some T-shirts as well. So we'll be giving away some I Fly Indiana T-shirts. Really looking forward to that as well. Wicked Wings logo. Craig Taylor, he's been getting a lot of inquiries for people to do wings. I know Dave is getting one, right? And we're going to be having a show here. I'm going to talk about it in just a second. And it was a show that came from the mind of Todd Scandrett for a Resurgence PPG reunion. He's going to be donating another one of those Resurgence PPG covers that he commissioned Para Orange to make. That's going to be on May 24th. I'm not going to talk about it tonight of how you can go about winning that, but I'll just say, hang on to your money. If you're thinking about making an additional donation to Resurgence, you're going to want to do it here in the weeks to come, and I'll go and explain that probably next week. But really appreciate that from Wicked Wings logo. Para Orange. So we have a special, I guess Para Orange has a special promotion right now. So from tonight through the next 4 weeks, every time you make a purchase on paraorange.com and you use the promo code OPN, you always get a 10% off when you use the promo code OPN. But in addition to that, your name's going to be put in a hat for here, I have it all right here, some stuff that's going to be given away. And we'll go ahead and give it away on that show. But we've got some riser covers. We got a T-shirt. We've got Para Orange windsock, a low velocity windsock. And we've got some prop covers and also a stuff sack. So altogether, this is over a $200 value. We're going to be giving it all away to one lucky winner. But to enter into that, you've got to go onto paraorange.com, buy anything, and then use the promo code OPN, and you'll be entered into that. We have one new sponsor. Kate, did you happen to catch that there was a new sponsor tonight?
I saw that.
Yes,
Also, great job on working that into the intro. I liked it.
I know it wasn't
good
quality, but yes, Aviator PPG is a new sponsor. We're really excited to have them on board. They have classes coming up in May and June. Kate, when was the last time you remember this soon that they had availability in classes?
I
don't ever remember a time. So,
I was about to say it's been a while.
Yeah. And something else that is really neat too that I saw, they just had a video come out on the new Parapack Survivor Pack and the Parapack Crash Pack, everything that you can need in an emergency, really reasonably priced for everything that you get. So go ahead and check that out as well. So again, thank you to all of our sponsors. There's so much that's going on with them. As always, you can go into www.ourparamotornation.com, check out everything that's going on. You can quick links to all of their websites. You can check them out there too. Next week, we've got Mike Canella, instructor. The following week, we've got Eric DeFore, the Godfather. He's going to be talking about skydiving. That's something he's never talked about on a show, so that'll be neat to hear. Nick Thor Rashida. And then again, on May 24th, the Resurgence reunion. We're going to have a bunch of the Resurgence graduates coming on. So very, very exciting. Let's talk to our co-host, Kate Bowen. We're still waiting for Rick Davies. He'll hopefully be on here soon. Kate Bowen, hi.
Hi.
Hi. How was your weekend?
It was really good. It was very distant from all of, civilization. I went up to Georgia with my cousin to her parents' cabin and did nothing but ride four-wheelers all weekend. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
So much fun.
It was good.
Well, it's great to have you here. Also joining us is Dave Ruff, Trike Flyer. Hi, Dave.
What's up? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I haven't been flying very much because the weather's been horrible here. But,
I feel you.
It's my wife is ready to kick me out because I'm getting real edgy, really, really, really edgy. What's been going on with you in your world?
A lot of work on the ranch. Finishing up a greenhouse. Yesterday, I built a hog pen in anticipation for 2 hogs coming in. And next week, I'll be doing the outer fences for a dairy cow coming in. Trying to fly, but the weather's just not cooperating. So.
What about the bees? How are the bees doing?
The bees are good. I opened them up the other day. I couldn't wait. I had to. I've been feeding them a lot of sugar water. You feed them a 1 cup to 1 cup water, sugar type mixture. So it's simple syrup is what it is.
All right.
And opened them up and make sure they were doing honeycomb and stuff like that. I saw lots of nectar. I saw lots of honeycomb. I saw lots of pollen. So they are bringing stuff in. They are starting to establish themselves. And I'm getting 2 more hives May 2nd.
Wow.
Bringing them in.
So
you know that I used to keep bees when I was like 8 years old.
Well, you need to come over here and have a
It
talk
was
with
the first
these
job
bees.
I ever had. It was terrible. I hated it. I will never do it ever again. It was terrifying.
Oh, no. Actually, I am a little terrified of bees, but since starting to keep bees, and last week I had my first learning experience of cutting a tree open and handling a hive with well over 100,000 bees, and they were swarming and stuff. It was like, okay, you know what? This is fine.
So you are definitely becoming a farmer.
Farmer, rancher, yeah.
And Kate, did you see the picture that Dave posted of him and his lovely bride farming?
Stand by.
What is
it?
Yeah, this picture right here.
Oh my gosh.
Old Mick Trike Flyer.
Hey, it looks pretty good.
That's old
I like
Mick Trike Flyer. Dave, I don't know her name. Would you like to tell us her name?
Yeah, that's kind of new to me, but
right.
that does look like me.
You look very happy. You both look very, very happy, and we wish you both the best of shoveling or whatever else you do. I don't know.
I will get you, Dave. I will get you, Dave Wolfe.
Farm work is hard.
If you're gonna make a joke, it's worth doing live, not on the pre-show. So there you go.
There you go.
We have Shannon Michaels here. We're still waiting for our buddy Rick Davies to jump in, and so we will say hi to him once he gets here. But hi, Shannon. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. So for those of you who don't know, this has been a show I've been wanting to have for a very, very long time. I've asked Shannon in the past and asked her, and I finally got in front of her at the fly-in, and I'm glad she finally says yes, because I was about 2 seconds away from dropping to my knees and begging. So I'm glad I didn't have to come to that.
He was so dedicated to it. He actually tore up his wing just so he could get to the
Right. Watch
dedication at best, right there.
Sacrifice.
Okay, Kate's been muted for the rest of the show. And so Lauren and Kate and Shannon, You guys, so for anybody that doesn't know, Lauren Michaels, your husband, you guys run a little facility called Winds PPG. Tell us about it, how it started, what it's doing now.
Okay. We are here in Florida, Central Florida, Avon Park, Florida. We operate our school out of the Avon Park Executive Airport. We started 3 years ago now, training down here. Yeah, we are a USPPA school. We keep our classes small. We usually have about 2 students, 1 to 2.
Okay.
Lauren really prides himself on one-on-one focused, dedicated training. We do towing. We do, all the classes, weather, FAR 103, airspace, all the stuff. He does a really in-depth motor maintenance class as well. We offer PAP paramotors. We have been fans of PAP paramotors for going on 15 years now. That's what we both fly. We offer several different wings. Currently, we offer ITV, Niviuk, and Gem paragliders. Real happy with those right now. We do a 7 to 14 day class, kind of like everybody else does. And have real good results. We usually get most of our students leave us with about 25 flights, if not more.
Are you running back-to-back classes, or are you spacing it out?
We do back-to-back. Obviously, we're shut down right now because of, everything that's going on. We're looking to start back up probably, I think, the first week of May. I think we have a couple of students lined up that we had some, but they were kind of essential personnel. So their classes kind of had to get put on hold anyway. So firefighters.
Oh yeah, that could be essential, I guess.
Yeah.
So obviously you met this guy named Lauren. He was already flying. Were you interested in starting to learn to fly, let alone everything else that you weren't? So tell us about that.
So we met line dancing at a country bar.
Oh, how cool is that?
So yeah, we started dating, and I actually was helping him take pictures to sell some of his paramotor gear that he had to put it up for sale. And that's how I kind of I'm like, all right, so, what is this? And ended up, we went to my very first fly-in, and I just, I was kind of like, I cook breakfast. This is what I do. I'll take pictures and cook breakfast. And I'm scared of heights, so I never wanted to fly. I mean, no way. I can't climb a ladder.
That's because I think a lot of us are. I know I am.
Right?
I'm death on a ladder.
No, not at all my ball game.
Nope. So I was like, no way are you getting me under a wing in a lawn chair. No. So I think I'd been to 2 or 3 fly-ins with him and our friend Darren. They have Almost Heaven paragliding in West Virginia. He convinced me to go up on he has a powered parachute, and he took me up on a powered parachute, and I was hooked just immediately. And I was like landed, and I'm like, I got to have my own, I ride my own motorcycle. I had to have my own paramotor. So Lauren trained me, and it should have cured him from teaching anybody else to fly, because I'm a pain in the butt and I don't listen. So, but it didn't. But yeah, so he taught me to fly.
So how long have you been flying?
Almost 7 years now.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
And you're comfortable teaching as well?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, obviously. All right. So the real reason we got you on here wasn't so much to talk about you training or how you teach, but that's kind of a nice ancillary product to the show. It's more about gliders and wings. And I said this during the pre-show, I put this into the chat. Guys, if you have questions about things that might have happened, should I have had this checked, please make sure you're putting that in. Dave or Kate will send that over to me, and we'll get those questions asked. I know JP Tula already asked a question earlier. We're going to get to JP's question as well. Yeah, I still have it. So make sure you're putting that in there. But so when did this idea of, hey, I'm going to start inspecting and repairing gliders come about? And how did you get trained to do it?
We've been friends with Elizabeth and Eric for years and years. And being here in Florida, we got to see them a lot more than just once a year at a fly-in or something. And we happened to be over there at their house one day last year sometime, and or the year before, I don't even remember. And I got to talking to Elizabeth, and she started talking about how she was looking to scale back. She only wants to do like major repairs. So if you make wing salad, you're still going to talk to Elizabeth. But she started talking about that, and I started talking to Lauren about it. And I said, it's just one more aspect, that we could get into and provide a service for our community that, we love so much. And so I talked to Elizabeth about it, and I actually trained with her for many, many, many months. I would go over for about a week at a time and stay in the camper on their property, and just get up and just every day just work with her and learn the ropes, and finally got her blessing and started my own.
Yep. PPG Gorilla just joined us as well. That's what you're hearing there. I just went ahead and muted him. Okay. So, yeah, so now you're trained. So you trained for many months. I mean, is this something that you're really enjoying at this point? I hope.
I hope so. I paid a lot of money for it.
Okay.
No,
You
I do.
Business.
I purchased the business from Elizabeth. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't even know if people realize that you're doing this so much, which is great for you. Because I'll tell you something. I had an issue personally that happened with my first glider. Very interesting, where I've mentioned this on the show before, where I couldn't actually shut my motor off, my kill switch, because I was wearing thick, heavy gloves. I ended up landing in snow, and long story short, my whole glider got caught into my Fresh Breeze Monster and made some salad. And didn't know where to send it. So I didn't know that you were running business at the time, and otherwise I might have sent it that way. So I'm glad that people are hearing there's options out there.
Yeah.
So how much of the business is this becoming a big part of your business at this point?
Yeah, I kind of I still help out with the school. I do a lot of classes, classroom work, and then spend the rest of my time in the glider shop. I was there today. I was there yesterday. Pretty busy. But yeah, I spend a lot of time there. I start about 6 a.m. and end at about 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Awesome. I do want to introduce to the show PPG Gorilla, since he's joining us, and he may have some questions to ask as well. How are you, Mr. Gorilla?
What's up, guys? Thank you for having us.
Oh,
Shannon, thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Dave, Trike Flyer, and Kate, good to see you guys.
Hi.
I'm sorry for being late. We had a family Zoom meeting again tonight. Had my mom and dad, sister, and stuff. And
Completely.
my sister and brother-in-law just bought a boat, so we were kind of excited about that.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. When are we going to Bahamas?
Soon. He's got a boat. He bought a boat that could do that. He bought a 25-foot Dusky. It's nice.
What else do you do when we're having a pandemic? You get a boat, right?
Buy a boat. Oh yeah, why not?
That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Shannon, did you know what's going on with Gorilla's life recently in the last week? Have you been following what's happening with him?
No.
Gorilla, why don't you talk about that video that you had come out? Well, yeah. I guess you didn't subscribe to that channel, did she now?
You on the phone.
I live at the glider shop. I don't get to see things on YouTube.
Oh, I know. So on Easter Sunday, I got on the scale and I was appalled, absolutely appalled at what I saw. I weighed in at 285 pounds. Honey.
Look at your wife.
See that? Oh my God. I was appalled at that. I'm like, listen, I'm overweight for my glider. I want to get healthy. I want to get in better shape. So I started a diet. I made a video about it. Some people commented on it. Carl McGee, my friend that I fly with, and some other people pledged money for me to meet my goal of 40 pounds of weight loss, 45 pounds. And now I'm on it.
There you go. So,
Awesome.
so you put out this video and the donations.
Yeah. So now, as of now, I'm up to $1,100 that people, my friends and my supporters, have pledged to donate to Resurgence PPG. If I lose this 45 pounds in 3 months, they'll donate it. So now I have to do it. I have no choice.
And I actually said, if you shave your mustache, I will double my donation.
I'm in. I'm down.
Is it going to happen?
No.
Kimberly
All right,
said,
tell you what. I will
Okay.
donate $20. If he shaves his mustache, I will donate another $20. I will re-up it.
$20.
Oh, holy.
The man that
You
had
You should do it on air.
$17. Come on, Dave.
Ooh, that's a great idea, Shannon. Do it on here. We'll shave it on air. I love it.
Yeah, I'll do it on the show. That's
Kimberly, we got to do this for Resurgence.
For Resurgence.
So, yeah, that's really motivational. I'm really proud of Rick. Look, we're wearing the same shirt tonight.
Awful.
I'm really Kimberly. I mean, his mustache alone must weigh 30 pounds. So, I was really inspired by Rick, and that's why I donated not $20, Dave, but $100, and said I would double that if he shaved his mustache.
Yeah, Dave.
Hey, I'm buying a new motor. I can only afford $20.
Like you need another motor, Dave.
I do.
Here's the thing. Dave, I want you to think back. Dave, a little, not too long ago when you were in your 40s, okay? And when you were in your 40s, there was a movie came out.
I'm still in my 40s, jerk.
Oh, I meant to say 30s. It wasn't that long ago. So in your 30s, you're in your 40s? In your 30s, there was a movie that came out a lot. It was probably the most anticipated sequel to a movie. It was a boxing movie. The year was 1979. And Shannon got it. And you know what movie I'm talking about, right? The Italian Stallion. What movie is that?
That would be Rocky.
Rocky 2, right?
Oh, Adrian.
Right. And do you remember back then, Dave, there was a scene where he's in Mickey's gym and he's jumping rope. And
Dave, I'm sorry. I got to cut the line at men's locker room scenes, okay?
All right. But here, do you see the picture right there? You see that?
Yeah.
What does that say?
Win, Rocky, win.
Right. Yes. And that was a very motivational movie, right? So, it got me thinking about what Rick is doing here. And I think
here it comes.
I think there needs to be another T-shirt. And I'm trying to bring it up here. Hang on a second. And so I created a T-shirt. And it's still stuck on old Mick Trike Flyer picture. I don't know why it's not going away.
Hey, Rick, before this happens, make sure you give me a call later on tonight. We got to exact our revenge.
So, no. You're going to like this.
There was a surprise coming. I don't know what it
Check this guy out right here. This T-shirt right here. Can you see it? Tell me when you can see it. You see it yet? Win Gorilla Win. This is an actual T-shirt.
Win Gorilla Win.
Win Gorilla Win. Rick, there's already one on the way to you right now. I'm getting one as well. I'm going to put a link in the chat for anybody that wants a Win Gorilla Win T-shirt. Okay? Because we're motivated. And here's what I'm going to tell you too. $10 of every T-shirt that is purchased, Win Gorilla Win T-shirt, $10 is going to go to Resurgence PPG.
Right. Awesome, man. Awesome. I
like
love
that?
It. I love it. I love it.
Because you've inspired so many, not just with your flying, that whole baloney line of where, ordinary people. It was cute. It was really, I think I read that in the book.
I'm seeing here that Aviator Show just said he's going to donate $100 if he shaves his head, eyebrows, and mustache.
Oh, you know what? I will top that. He does that. I will also donate 100.
No, he has a job, guys.
I can do
He would
that.
look like Hitman. If he loses that weight, shaves his eyebrows, his head, and his mustache, he would look like the guy off Hitman.
That will scare
Holy
people.
cow.
We just need to get him a black jacket, white shirt, red tie. Man, he would be Hitman.
David said he'll double it if I shave my mustache. I'll do that. I'll shave the mustache. I'm all right. I'm good with that.
No, you
Okay, tell you what, mustache and head.
Or will you just shave half of it?
Or Kimberly can triple.
I'm coming for you. I swear to God.
Let's get back to Shannon before my phone gets lit up and says another person says, "Hey, can we get back to Shannon?" So,
Hey, actually, before we do that, wasn't it that we had a guest not too long ago that disconnected because you did this to him?
possibly. So,
Possibly.
all right. I know I've got a bunch of questions to get to here with Shannon. I'm trying to put that link in the chat, and I'll get that up there in just a second.
Shannon, I'm sorry. I apologize for being late. We were with our family, and this is the most important ever episode of our Paramotor Nation. It's about wings, about our integrity of our wings, having them inspected, having them repaired.
Thanks, Rick. All right. So let's say
This rum bottle just fell over.
oh no. Shannon, if something happens to our wing, what should we be looking for? That's the first question, is what do we look for in our gliders that say, maybe this thing needs to be inspected? Let's start with that.
Well, I guess the first thing would be is if it feels like it's not flying the same anymore. You know, when you get a new wing and you pull it out of the bag, it's crispy, and you know when you go to pull it, it pops right up.
Like a potato chip bag.
Yeah, like a potato chip bag. You know, that's great. Everything's great. As they age, they may feel a little sluggish. You know, like it takes a little bit longer for them to come up. It's a little harder to get them to pop up. You know, you're like, you know, why won't this thing fly? It may be time for a porosity check on that. You know, just if you have an incident, you know, that you're not comfortable, you know, checking out yourself and saying, yeah, it's good. I just, you know, I looked at it, it's fine. If you know, say you snag it on a barbed wire fence or something, and you know, you maybe pull it a little hard, and you look at it and you say, I don't know about that. You know, anytime you're questioning, if you have to ask yourself, should I have that looked at? You just answered your own question.
Okay.
When in doubt, yes. Yeah. So what would you say what's the most wear and tear on a wing without it just being damaged? What would you encourage people to do to take care of their wings so it doesn't get that floppy feel after a while? Because it's going to happen, but
yeah, it's going to happen
to preserve it for as long as possible.
I mean, our wings are good for like 400 hours of UV, you know, exposure, and that's what kills them. Don't suntan your wings. They don't need a suntan. If you're, you know, pack it up. I can't tell you how many fly-ins I've been to, and you know, it's morning flying and everybody gets done at 10:30, whatever, and you look out and there's just wings all over the field, and they stay there. People go in and have a snack, you know, and their wing is still out in the field. It's baking.
So what about when it gets wet, just from the normal dew on the ground?
That's fine. As long as, so what the damage that comes from that is when they get packed up, and say, you know, you pack it up in the wing bag and you just cram it in the trunk of your car, whatever, and it stays there and it's wet. I can't tell you how many wings I've gotten that are wet for an inspection. They pack them up after they get done flying one morning and then throw them in a wing bag and cram them in a box and send them to me, and I have to hang them up for a day to let them dry.
So is it better to pack your wing wet than leave it out to dry?
Absolutely. Pack it up, but as soon as you can, like when you get back to the house or whatever, just open your bag up, fluff it up a little bit, let it air out. That's absolutely, you don't have to hang it in a garage or anything. I mean, if you have the space, great, but you know, you just open it up and let it breathe, let it dry. It will mold.
I was about to say, how easy is it to grow mildew? Super.
The ones that I get that are wet usually have some mold starting on them.
Usually, I mean, they usually start to smell like rotten something or other. Mm-hmm. What's the easiest way to clean them?
Fly them in the morning.
In Florida, we every morning we fly. It's wet. The wings are wet.
Yeah.
And it's gotta dry out.
Yeah. And usually, if it's soaking wet, you know, that's like after we launch or whatever, we lay it out and we, you know, do whatever, and then we go fly. They dry when we fly. But when you land and you go to put it away, like I said, if you have to put it away wet, just like I said, fluff it, open the bag up, let it breathe, let it air out. If you can, put it in the house. We keep our wings. Now we keep them at the shop, but like in our house in Tennessee, we had a wing room and we kept all of our wings in the air conditioning in a room. And if they came home and they were the least bit damp or wet, we opened the bag up, just kind of fluffed them up, let them breathe, let them air out.
This may be a silly question, but a dehumidifier, using that, is there anything damaging for that?
Nope. That'd be probably perfect.
Okay. That's a great question, Kate. Good. What about lines? How do we go about checking lines?
Okay. From what I've seen, when I've seen, everybody, when they lay their wing out to go fly, they check their lines, make sure your A's on top, check your lines, just kind of a good overall look at your lines, see if they're all still in one piece. If usually if there's any damage, it's going to be right there about that far from your risers, right about where your prop would hit. I've seen lines that have gotten, if you have anything on your motor, like a lot of people have put lights on their motor, but they use zip ties. If the zip ties have any kind of sharp corners or edges or anything, that will pick your lines as they come around your hoop. So if over time, that will wear through the sheet on your lines. So just kind of give a good look at them, every once in a while when you land, if you don't want to do it, before you fly, whatever. But, just look at them. If you hear your lines hit the prop, you hear that horrible tick tick sound, that horrible sound, unclip, look at your lines, walk down each line, take your hand, each line, single line, and walk down it like this, feel it. You don't have to squeeze it really hard. You can feel damage on the line. If it's just the sheathing that's damaged, it's okay. Don't let that ruin your day. The outer sheathing provides no structural strength. It's just for protection of the inner core. Half of our gliders now have unsheathed lines. But if you have damaged one to where you can see the inner core, call me, text me, ask me to send you a new line. If you have damaged the cores to where it's frayed or it looks fuzzy or it's picked, don't fly that. You don't want to fly one that's got a damaged core.
So I'm just curious, what's the worst you've seen? What's the worst thing you've seen that you've been able to repair?
David Wolfe's wing.
No, that was not. The wing was fine. It was the lines, and it wasn't my fault.
Lines, yeah.
It was someone else.
I've had a lot of prop strikes on the wing. Tears up the sails. I've replaced quite a bit of that lately. I did have somebody send in a wing that was ground handling on the beach and got a little frisky for him, and his wing actually fell over on like some kind of beach shack or something, and it had like a tin roof, and it sliced through 23 of his lines. Just cut them all. So he had to get all new lines. But yeah, most of the damage I see is just lines. Either people getting them cut with a prop, or they get them wrapped around the hub, and it tears them up.
Shannon, a question: do you have a lot of repairs of like wing skidding on a hot exhaust and burning a hole through it?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It will melt the fabric.
I saw it for the first time the other day. I visited Shannon's shop, and she was showing me. Very cringeworthy. It looks like, that would break my heart if that happened to my wing.
Yeah, we spend so much money on these wings. They're like $2,500, $3,500 and you burn a hole in it, it hurts.
Exactly.
It hurts your heart.
But it's like I told, I had a customer pick up his wing today. He was just a basic inspection, but he was asking about this very thing. He said, what happens if I burn a hole in my wing? It can be repaired. Like you said, we spend thousands of dollars on these wings, and I can repair it for a couple of hundred, so it can be repaired. They can be fixed.
So if my wing hit my hot motor and burned a hole, but maybe it was just the underside, but not the top side, can I still fly it that day? I'm just kidding, Shannon. That's a
I
joke.
wouldn't.
She's honest. She's like, no.
Send it.
So as far as replacing your own lines, is it? I mean, I've never done it, and I would probably feel more comfortable just sending. Well, you're local, so it's easy for you to be like, Shannon, help. Is it easy to do by yourself? Do you recommend people attempting to do that by themselves, or should they just send it in and?
It's totally easy. If you just look at your risers, you will kind of work from your riser up and then from your top of your wing back down. What you do is you unbolt the malleon, take the little O-ring off, then you slide off the line that you need. They're only looped together. They're not. There's no like knots or anything on your lines. They're all just looped. So you just basically unloop them all the way up till you get to the one you need to replace, and then put that on and loop them back down.
I would love to come watch you. I would love to just observe. I think there was one time I attempted to put that little O-ring back on a malleon with the A-lines on it, and I was like, I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing how it should probably go, but I can't make it go that way. So
yeah, I've got like calluses on my fingers from those stupid O-rings. Yeah, they're hard.
Good fun time.
Yeah.
Shannon, I have a question.
Yep.
Where are you? Are you at the airport now?
Mm-mm.
No, you're at home.
I'm in my dining room.
Oh, we like your clock.
I love your clock. I love it.
Thank you.
Shannon, we're getting a lot of questions asking if you sell lines.
I do.
Where can people go to find those lines?
I don't pre-make lines because that would be I would just forever be making lines. But if you need a line, just get in touch with me and tell me. I'm going to ask you, what wing do you have, what size, and what line do you need? And I'll ask you.
You basically have every manufacturer's size. You know the dimensions of every line for everything that's out there.
Yep. I have all the specs. I have line lengths, all the measurements where I measure it under tension, so that it is actually, that's how you, when you make lines, they have to be made under tension and measured under tension. And so, I have all the spec sheets from all the manufacturers for pretty much every wing out there. And if I don't have it, I do have connections with the wing manufacturers, and they will usually get back to me if we're not having a pandemic. They'll get back to me same day.
Minor detail.
You know.
We have a bunch. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, but yeah, I'll ask you, like, if you call me and ask me about lines, I'll ask you, as flying, which riser is the line that you need, which riser is it on, A, B, C, D, and is it the closest to you line? Right. Is it the middle line? Is it the outer line? I need to know that. All these lines are different lengths.
Do you find it easier to just receive photos or videos of what line there is instead of relying on the customer to know what's what?
A lot of times I get the wrong line. They tell me the wrong line, but it's confusing. And I'll send you pictures of the line charts. They're also confusing. It's trying to read hieroglyphics, really.
Yes.
The easiest way to get lines from me is to take off the good one. If you tear up your main A1 on your right riser, take off your left one and send it to me, and I will make an exact copy of that line. It'll be the same color and it will be the exact same length. Our lines shrink and stretch over time. And if I make a line for your wing and your wing is a couple of years old, whatever, you've been doing acro on it, your lines have stretched.
Well, that's oh, sorry, go ahead.
If I make you a line based off of spec, it could be a little bit longer than your line, or it could be a little bit shorter because your lines are stretched.
Is it better to replace both at once? Especially if it is under higher tension, if you are more active with the wing, is it better to just...
They're not going to stretch like, that much. They're going to stretch like millimeters. They're not going to stretch a lot. I wouldn't do both unless you just, wanted two matching exact, bright red ones on both sides, brand new ones. But yeah, like I said, the easiest way to get the exact perfect match is to send me the good one. Now I know a lot of people don't want to go to the time of doing that. So
it's worth it.
I do my very best to like match it up. And if I have a question about like a color or something, I'll come back and ask you, you know, what color blue is your line? Because a lot of times the line manufacturer, they don't make the same color blue every run. One time it may be royal blue, and the next time I get it, it might be more of a turquoise blue, and there's like nothing I can do about that.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Jim CR did ask, and I am curious too. He wants to know, will you train others to do what you do, and is there an official certification?
I wouldn't train anybody else to do what I do. I paid a lot of money for this training and for this business, and that's kind of how all of us have gotten into it, I think, that do it. There's only a few of us there in the country that do it. A lot of training from the masters like Elizabeth and Michelle, they learned in Germany. They actually went to school in Germany and learned from those guys.
That's what I'm wondering, where else you could go to just
yeah,
do. I think
there's no like certification to do it. I mean, you know, you train and you have to, you know, there's a lot of liability in what I do. I have to accept that.
Yeah,
I would say
things that are just handed down.
Yeah.
I would say that is true. Yeah, no, I wonder, you know, that's the only thing about doing it for other people. You know, I feel like for myself, it would be good to know. So if I was ever in a situation where I didn't have anybody else to do it for me, I could confidently be like, hey, I know what to do. But as far as, you know, making sure everything's good to go for other people, I don't know that I would personally be able to handle the weight of of that.
It's definitely a process, you know, that I follow very strictly.
Yeah, you're very precise. When you walk me through your process, it's very, very precise, very specific, which is good.
Like I said, I've been sewing since I was probably 7 years old. So, you know, that comes in handy. You know, I'm pretty crafty, if anybody out there knows me.
So is most of the work, as far as repairing panels, is it where does most of the work lay? Do you have to constantly resew everything, or is it a balance between what you're doing physically with your hands, or do you have to just, like, what does that process look like? I guess is what I'm asking.
If I have a piece that, like, kind of like the piece that you saw that was melted, that, you know, that one little section, you know, so if you have a little section of your wing where, like, you know, you've got the long sail going this way, and there's a little section that's like right here, that's, you know, this part is white that goes, or orange that goes to the trailing edge, and this little section here may be, you know, white. If that part is damaged and I can go inside, I have to take apart 3 cells to get one piece out. I can make a pattern from that. But if it's a piece that has been like completely mangled, when I take it apart, I have to kind of figure out how to make a pattern from it. And then you have pretty much one shot to sew it back in.
No pressure. It's fine.
Because, I mean, you think about it, as I'm sewing it, I'm poking holes in it.
Right.
You know, so if I don't stay on the right line, I'm poking holes in the piece of fabric. And so if I have to take it out and do it again, I'm putting more holes in there. So, you know, you
don't want to do that.
Shannon.
And then I have to take apart another piece, and it's just, so it's very time consuming, but it needs to be, because I need for it to be precise. I need for it to be like spot on the first time.
Shannon, put us at ease and just say it's okay. But the question is,
okay.
Thank you. The question is if something happens to our glider and we think this thing is done, I might as well just throw it in the garbage and get myself a new one. Is that ever the case?
We sell wings.
No. What's the question? The question is, can it be repaired? Can it always
sell? Heck, from what I'm hearing, you could probably build a wing.
That's what I'm saying. I want her to do like this here we go. Do a custom wing for me that's just built out of patches, like an old pair of pants. Can we do that? Will that work?
Build a wing for Lauren to fly that's built out of all the junk that you took off other people's wings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No.
Or you just call it the hand-me-down.
Yeah, hand-me-down.
The hand-me-down.
Sure. I'll start my own wing company called Hand Me Downs.
Call the hand-me-downs.
Ew.
I have a feeling that that's not going to be as successful as I'm imagining.
Probably not. No. Yeah. If you tear it up, if you hit it with your prop, if somebody runs over it, you know, I've seen somebody land on somebody else's wing and split it right down the middle. It can be fixed. Like we were saying, these wings cost a lot of money, and you can get them fixed usually for just a couple of $100. And I mean, that's a lot better than having to buy a new wing. It really is. If you have any question about it, send me pictures of it, and you know, it can usually, more times than not, it can be fixed.
So how often do you guys get people who damage their wings and want you to just take the damaged wing, fix it, and resell it, and then just buy a new wing? Do you run into that very often?
Not very often.
People just
usually everybody's
like, here.
Most of us have more than one that we fly anyway. So a lot of times I'll get wings that are messed up. Excuse me, that somebody will say, you know, just fix it. I've got another one. I'll fly it now. Just fix this one. Fix my baby. You know, so very rarely do I get anybody. I get a lot of inspections.
Please fix this one right away, because that's the only one I got, so I can fly it.
Yes.
Wait, you damaged a wing?
No, Dave Wolfe.
Oh.
No, I've got extras.
See, some of us don't own multiple wings, and so knock on wood, maybe that's why I haven't done any serious damage to mine yet, because I don't have a backup plan.
Never say something.
We sell wings.
I knocked on it. We're good. Shannon, we sell wings.
No, I mean, like you said, you're local, so
yeah.
We've got a lot of questions in the chat that I want to get to. I'm gonna scroll back and try to get as many of these as I can. But while I'm doing that, can you talk about the process of repairing and process of inspecting that you go through?
I'll start with like inspections. I get your wing, and I had somebody ask me the other day, they were concerned about their wing bag, whether it was one that they had sent with it. I said, look, okay, when I get your wing, I put your name on the box that it comes in. I put a tag on your wing on the riser, and I put a tag on anything that comes with your wing. So if you send a wing bag, riser bag, anything like that, it all goes, your name stays on everything that you sent me. So that I'm very OCD about that. You're going to get back what you sent to me. And so when I get your wing, I pull it out of the box. Speaking of that, please don't send me packing peanuts.
Wow.
I feel that, Shannon. I feel that so strongly.
I'm going to charge you extra if you send me packing peanuts.
Shannon, serious question. If peanuts are off the table, is glitter okay?
Yes.
Okay.
You really want that in your glider?
Listen, Shannon sends her wings back with glitter on them. They
Hey, when I inflate, I look.
It sprinkles on you.
Yeah, when I inflate, I look like a fairy taken off. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh my gosh, hilarious.
Hey,
No, but seriously, when you send your wing,
we've been saying that forever, dude.
He does wear tight.
with or without glitter, right?
I don't know what's worse, if someone were to send a glitter bomb or a packing peanut bomb.
I had a glitter bomb sent to me. Well, actually, it wasn't sent to me. It was sent to Sarah.
I had one sent to me recently.
It was meant for you. I mean, I heard it was meant for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sarah opened it.
Hey,
Taylor just dropped Foreman's email and their number. So anybody who might have a damaged wing, or if you're planning on having any, there you go.
You're planning on damaging your wing. Okay, so
one of my
shipping me your wing. If you ship me your wing for inspection, for your own financial purposes, get it folded and packed as small as you can get it, and put it in the smallest box you can. I got a wing the other day, and the guy sent it was $170 for his shipping. It was in a humongous box. So the post op, they measure the box, and you know, so get it as small as you can to ship it to me, because that means the turnaround shipping is going to be, you know, less. When I get a wing in, first thing I do is porosity. I'm going to say this wrong because I say it wrong every time. I have a porosimeter, and what that does is it reads the amount of time it takes for air to be pulled through the fabric. And I take either the right or left side of your wing. If your wing has been inspected before, I do the opposite side for the inspection. Also, if your wing has been inspected 2 years ago, whatever, and it's got a sticker from Elizabeth or whoever, and she did the left side, I'll do the right side. And I take all the cells on that side and I count from the center to the end, and I check 3 spots on that side of the wing, top and bottom fabric. I check the porosity, and then I take an average of the top and bottom to get how long it takes for air to go through your wing. New fabric always reads at well over 1,000 seconds for air to go through that wing. Sometimes some of the fabric, depending on what kind it is, it can take up 2,000 seconds. It takes forever. Fabric fails at 15 seconds or less. So you can see there's a lot of time that gets lost in there. The older our wings get, the more UV damage they have. If they've been beach flown and the sand, salt is really abrasive, that eats off the polymer coating on our wings, and they become very porous. So it doesn't take long at all for that air to be pulled through those wings. So I do an average. If all that's good, then I go on to a visual inspection. I have a rig that I pull the wing up from the trailing edge, and I pull it all the way up to the ceiling so I can see all the way down. And that's also when I clean out all the cells. You'd be surprised at the stuff I find in people's wings.
Oh, I'm sure. My wing.
I have
Have you found any acorns in there?
I found acorns. I have a great collection of seashells. I have a silencer bracket. The whole bracket. Yep.
Holy cow.
I don't know. Right. Look up, I don't know. You would think somebody would notice a silencer bracket. I don't know. I pulled it up and it fell out and it scared me. I thought it was a mouse.
Everybody just starts putting
How did that even
random stuff in
happen?
your cells. Put random stuff in your cells before you send it
Right.
to Shannon.
Yes.
Apparently.
Things I want, like yarn.
Yeah, I'll send you some surprises.
Macaroni noodles. Yeah.
Um,
Set a pair of dice
yeah.
in there one time. Yeah.
I have quite a collection in my little jar of stuff, my jar of shame of stuff that fell out of wings.
Wow.
8 pounds of sand. I had a wing come to me and the guy said, it just doesn't fly right anymore. I don't know what's wrong with it.
You gotta shake it out.
I pulled out 8. I weighed it and I took a picture on the scale. It was 8 pounds of sand. I said, well, you're flying with sandbags in your wingtips. So
Your bunghole's closed up.
That's
Your bunghole's
crazy.
stuck. Yeah.
exactly.
You gotta.
So I hang it up.
So much.
I hang it up and I do a complete visual. I check. This is where I check to see if there's any holes in the wing. If you have like little pinholes, which, all it takes is, one grasshopper and, or ants or whatever.
Stick, anything, yeah.
Anything. Especially if they get inside the sticks and stuff, they'll wear through it really quick, especially down towards the trailing edge, because they kind of get trapped in there. I'll patch those pinholes. Inside and out. I don't charge for that. That's part of your inspection. But I check front, back, up, down. I check all of your line connections at this point to make sure all your line connections, all the seams are still good. And like I said, I clean it out the very best I can. And from there, I take it and I hang it up. This is when I do my line inspection. I hang it up on a grid on my ceiling, basically. And I go through each individual line. First, I check the risers. I check to make sure your risers are even. All the mullions line up, everything is still straight. I check your trims to make sure they're not slipping, because if your trims are slipping, I can sew some stitch lines across them so they don't slip anymore.
Say that again. Say that one
Sorry.
more.
If your trim tabs, you know how sometimes if you have an older wing, your trim tabs will slip. You'll put pull your trim in and it will just kind of
So I think
slide its way back up.
I think you answered this first question. This was a question from JP Tulo, and he asked us, I think before the show even started,
I thought I saw that.
He has an important question, and I think he has a Spider 3 is what it said, about trimmers for Shannon. When I'm doing high G stuff, my trims let go. Is there any way to tighten my trimmer grabby things?
Your trimmer grabby thing.
Turn grabby.
Trimmer grabby things. What?
Stopping ropes.
Yeah. Thank you. I was like, we just talked about this. What was it?
Yeah, I mean, if he had a sewing machine or somebody that he knows has a sewing machine, all you need to do is take the piece of the trim that you can pull out, like, so if you pull your trim all the way in and you've got that long tail, just sew some lines, stitch some lines across it, zigzag it.
So they'll grab?
Yep, just give it something to grab. Give those like little teeth on the trim buckle something to grab onto.
Yep.
Is it possible for the actual teeth on the trim tab to wear? Oh no, that's pretty uncommon.
I've seen the trim buckles actually break and fall apart more often than not. Usually they get, because people just don't ever, they like set their trim somewhere and they never move it. It gets like kind of locked in and they just kind of like sit there and they like, and so.
Okay, so what about you? I mean, I have so many thoughts going through my head at once. I can't even focus. If your trim tabs are starting to slip, what are the chances of it actually being the thread on the trim, or your trim tabs just worn? Like if it's not closing as hard as it should, or as it would if it was new.
Yeah, the fabric, like as our wings collect dirt and stuff, like when we fly with them, if you have a new wing, and I mean, it gets really dried out and it gets kind of slick and hard, so that's why they slip. Or why they start to slip. It's not, I mean, I can't think offhand I've ever seen the trim, like the teeth wear down or anything. Like I said, usually it is the trim fabric is actually, it gets kind of slick. Yeah. And it just doesn't want to, the teeth don't want to hold on to it anymore. So all you have to do is just put a lot of wings have stitching on them already, and that will actually come undone over time. Or it just gets so dirty and cruddy that it just doesn't hang on to it anymore. And you just have to like restitch some lines on there.
I need to.
Basically, it's like speed bumps. Yeah.
So it's pretty common.
I need to do a couple things here real quickly for a couple of people that made some donations to the show. Adam Harrison, thank you very much for your donation. And here's a lady. She's the sweetest of the sweet that donates every week. And that's Linda Anderson. Thank you so much for your donations to the show. We really appreciate it.
Adam was one of our students. Adam is awesome.
I'm looking through questions here. I'm hoping not to ask questions that we've already asked.
We've gone over a lot. If there are duplicates, which I know there are some, because I kind of.
This is from Jim CR 120. How do you suggest that tracking wing hours? Should we differentiate between sunny and overcast days? Kind of hard to do that. I mean, unless you're really sitting there with a pen and pencil,
Yeah, I mean, just I mean, yeah. I mean, you kind of have an idea of how much you fly, and it's all kind of, and unless you're keeping a logbook and like, captain's log, today was sunny, and I flew for 3 hours in the hot sun. Average, 100 hours, 150 hours is when you should really get it looked at, get an inspection.
How about repacking? How often do you suggest for repacking for reserves?
Reserve 1 year.
I was about to say, isn't there a year mark for inspection on those?
I mean, we like to do them at a year. When we see them come in at a year, usually they're A-okay. There's no question. They're fine. Open them up. When we repack a reserve, we open them up. We actually throw them in the field and let them air out a little bit. And then we hang them up and let them hang for a full 24 hours. And that gets rid of all the creases, the fold lines. You don't want to fold them back on the same fold lines. And then we repack the reserve. We had one come in the other day. And when Lauren opened it up, he called me and he's like, so there's like fish tank gravel or something in the bottom of this, like, the pocket that it was in. And he's like, why would there be fish tank? It was like little colorful, it looked like fish tank gravel. Turns out it was the rubber bands that hold the lines. They had completely
Oh my
dry
God.
rotted, and it had turned into like these little hard, look like fruity pebbles from about 40 years ago. And so basically that meant that reserve had no rubber bands holding the lines, so they were just a tangled up mess that hadn't been repacked in I don't know how long. Probably would have worked if it had to be thrown, but so yeah, the biggest thing
is not good enough. Not good enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The rubber bands are what get gummy, and you actually have to, they turn into like this glue, and you have to peel them off of the lines of the
Just
reserve.
with age and deterioration.
Yep.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I want to thank
so
Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane for his donation to the show. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate it. And that's another
Shane.
person that trained down with you. There you go. Shannon, this question comes from Fly Swamper. What do you think about DIY ripstop tape repair to small puncture wounds, say from a pointy stick on the ground at the LZ?
Absolutely fine. Even the manufacturer, most of our wings, when we get them, they come with some kind of ripstop tape or something. When you make a patch for your wing to fix a hole or anything, do it on the outside and the inside. And what you're going to do is you want to round off the corner, either make it a circle, or if you have to make it a rectangle or whatever, round off your corners. And then when you put the patch on the inside and make that sandwich.
Are you okay, Rick?
Sorry. Sorry, I changed my dog.
God, I thought you were throwing up in a bucket or something.
I did too.
I was like, are you...
Is that part of the diet?
This could be the greatest show ever.
So
Rick,
when you make the patch on the inside, you want to make it a little bit smaller than the patch that's on the outside, because if you make them the same size, they want to like fold over and create a hard line, and that's where they'll get a wear, and it will actually create a rub line and a hole there. So you want to make it a little bit smaller on the inside, but you want to patch the inside and the outside, and it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine to put your own patch on. And if you don't have tape, just don't use duct tape.
don't use duct tape.
Don't use duct tape.
Why?
And,
Probably
don't
because
use duct tape or postal packing tape. I'm telling all my secrets here.
Okay, so here's a question. Ozone wings come with their, I don't know how many other brands come with repair kits, but Ozone comes with the patch kits.
Mm-hmm.
They're just pieces of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
How does one do anything with that? Unless you have help, like how do you?
I have no idea. The only thing I can figure that they send those pieces of I have wondered that since day one. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Unless it's for us to send to you, because I know, like, especially with custom colors, that might be what it is, just a sample of the fabric. Because custom colors, not every color match is the same. It's almost inevitably different every single time because they get tight every time. So
our wings, as soon as we start to use them, the colors start to fade. So new fabric is very hard to match.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the only thing I can figure is they send it so that if you do have a small repair that needs to be made, you can use that little tiny piece. But most of the time, repairs aren't 8 by 10 size.
You would think they would at least send it with some kind of threading or fabric to actually attach the fabric with.
Yeah, I thought that it was
of fabric.
Like
opener.
Gen wings come with a roll of ripstop tape for every color that's on your wing.
Wow.
Which is pretty awesome, because that way you have color, you color match for every color that's on your, on your wings. So that's pretty cool. But Ozone comes with a big sheet of just the white or the transparent, which you can use. It's basically transparent. If you put it on any color, you kind of can't tell. But yeah, so I have most of the colors. And if you need some, just get in touch with me and tell me what wing it is and what color, and I can usually match it up for you pretty good.
I promise you that if I ever needed anything, you will be the first one I call. And I have proven that to be true with multiple different occasions.
Kate, I can guarantee you when I come down to Florida, your wing will have some damage done to it, so it won't be long.
Ooh,
I want
ooh, that sounded like a threat.
Right?
David will
Shannon.
destroy. He'll destroy a wing. Count on it.
Well, it's payback, Kate. Jim
I
CR,
didn't do
thank you
anything.
very much for your donation to the show. This question is from John of the Jungle, and I think he's asking this if you're a trike flyer in Florida. If you're a trike flyer in Florida, specifically Florida, and your wing gets damaged, can you use Gorilla Tape on the glider?
Oh my gosh. No, glue. Use Gorilla Glue. Don't use.
No,
Just call
no,
Shannon.
no,
Call Shannon.
No. Shannon, say no. No, no, no.
911 Shannon.
Send it to
No.
Shannon.
It's the new routed number.
Oh, that should be. That's cool. I need that.
1-800 call Shannon. Or we'll come up with something.
That sounds like it would be on the bathroom wall.
Or just and you can just send out stickers. That's the best advertising for your number. Just send out a sticker with the number of 1-800 call Shannon or 1-800 oh crap. And there you go.
Oh crap.
Amen.
Oh crap.
There you go.
I will say this: when I walked off the field holding my torn up
Bobbing as he sobbed.
with lines all twisted,
Child.
wrapped around, and Kate saying, "I'll take care of this," and be ready to beat her.
And
No.
the crushed,
I'm
crushed
sorry.
in cage.
Shannon was
The fly product cage that was crushed.
Shannon was very nice and said, "Don't worry about it. I'll take good care of it." As I walked away, I hear, "Sucker!"
Yeah.
Shannon and I got those lines untangled pretty fast. And then she repaired it. Which, by the way, Shannon, I was really impressed with how quickly you repaired that.
Wait a minute, I had something to do with it. I was making it worse. You both kept saying, "Go away, David. Take a walk. Go away."
I was ready to fight you. I was ready to physically get you away.
That was funny.
Making the situation worse. I told somebody recently, just because you broke it doesn't mean you get to fix it. In reference to my truck.
A grudge on the paramotor as well.
Okay.
So
Happens.
Dave had to step away. Dave has our wheel ready to go for the t-shirt. I know he had a little bit of an emergency. He let us know about that. He's taken care of. We're hoping he's going to be back here in a second so we can do that wheel. If not, we can pick that up next week. Let's see if there's any other questions in the chat. Rick, have you had an issue with a glider ever?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever had a time? Thanks. That was supposed to be a yes. I have.
I've never had my lines never went into my prop. I never crushed any cage. I haven't had any such problems.
You might want to knock on some wood, bud.
But yeah,
that was the freest call to
bad.
karma
That
if
was
I've ever.
bad, wasn't it? But I tell you what, Shannon, I am due for a glider inspection. I'm coming close to 100 hours, so it's time. I want to come over and see you, send my glider in, get it checked out.
Cool. Very cool. Yep. Bring it to me.
Hey, and we're setting a date for the Sky Pirates poker run very soon here.
Yay.
That was so much fun last year, wasn't it? That was
so much fun.
I can't wait.
Sorry.
We have there was a couple questions here. Thank you, Yankee Paramotor. Said that there were several questions about polymer recoat.
That stuff has been on the market for a very long time. I don't know that it works. I can't say one way or another. I mean, I think if it worked, then there would probably be more companies making it. And my thoughts on it have always been, your wing is what's holding you up in the air. You know, our motor can quit anytime, doesn't matter. Your wing, you want to take care of it and make sure that it's good to go. And if your porosity is such that it's questionable, I don't want to trust it to spraying some stuff on it. You know, it may be time for a new wing.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts on it.
You're saying we can't just grab a can of like clear spray paint and just.
No. I mean, you could, but
you should not.
It should not.
Do you? I think there's a question here from Daniel. The question is, have you repaired a glider? You flight. I think what the question is do you flight test the gliders you repair?
if you want it done.
If it's requested.
Yeah, if you request it, then either Lauren will fly it or I'll fly it.
Was that an additional cost, or is that just if they ask and they're
If they ask.
comfortable with it? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's good.
If it's not terribly windy or rainy, I sometimes will take it out and I will kite it up just to, get a good look at it, put an eyeball on it. Especially if I've had to do like a full line set replacement, just to pull it up and make sure everything is in the right order and exactly where it's supposed to be. Quadruple check it. But yeah, usually behind my shop, I don't have a whole lot of room. So I would have to like pack it up, take it over to the airport.
That's what I was going to ask, because I've been to your shop, and so I didn't think that kiting it back there with all that concrete and trees is
I
a
do.
great idea.
There's a really big grass field like behind my shop, but the wind has been coming from just the right direction so that I don't end up in the car lot next door.
Well, the airport's not too far from your shop.
No, it's just right across the road. Yeah.
There's a
easier
here from someone random, and just says, have you ever had to put on a Wicked Wings logo on a wing, and what do you think of the quality of the logo?
I have not put one on a wing. Actually, I did. We put it on Shane's.
Shane,
yeah, it was Wicked. It was Shane's.
Is Lauren sitting right there?
Yeah, Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren's sitting right there.
Hi, Lauren.
Shane. We did Shane's wing. Shane helped. He came up and we did his wing. I actually have one. He did one for me. That's the Four Winds logo. I haven't put it on because it doesn't match my new wing, but they're amazing. Oh my gosh, they're beautiful. They were cut really nicely. Everything matched up really well. And putting it on was, it went on really, really easily. It looked fantastic. Really, really good quality.
That question came from Craig Taylor. So this question comes from Jason Russell Smith. He says, not expecting a discount, but for Wind students, do they get priority?
Of course.
All right, here's a great question here from JP Tula, and I was thinking the same thing. Turnaround time on wing repair, and also turnaround time for just lines being sent out.
Lines, if you get your line request into me early enough in the day that I can make it to the post office, I'll get them out same day. If not, they'll go out the next day. Right now, I'm trying to limit my trips to the post office because I'm trying. Avon Park is Sebring. We're like a retirement community, so everybody is 100 years old. So I'm trying not to go out to the post office every day. I'm trying to go like once every couple of days. So right now there may be a small delay on me getting your lines out, but I'm trying really hard. But normally, if I get it early enough in the day, I go to the post office before I leave for the day, and can get your lines to you. Wing inspections, I can, as long as you let me know you're going to send your wing and I get you on the schedule, I can turn them around in about 2 days, have it back to you. And in a repair, it depends on the repair. It depends on a lot of things. If I have the fabric in the right color, so say you need a cell repaired or replaced or something, I have a lot of fabric, but I may not have, the shade of magenta that your wing is custom colored or something. And I have to contact the manufacturer, and they're pretty quick about sending out fabric to me. Again, right now, not so much, but because everything is shut down overseas, so it's taking a little bit longer. But like Ozone, Amelia, she is like right on it when I ask her for something, sending me fabric.
Does the time of the year have to do anything with it? Like sometimes does summer, when people are flying and people are more susceptible to getting chopped, does that put you behind the season?
Not really. It actually seems to, summer is kind of slow for me, because everybody's flying. I get busy when it starts snowing up north and everybody like packs up their stuff for the winter and they're like, "Ooh, it's a good time for an inspection," so they send me. So I've been pretty busy this winter, But yeah, summertime is kind of slow. I get a lot of line requests in the summertime because everybody's flying. I have cat hair in my mouth.
You're getting cat hair in your mouth. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Maine Coon cat hair everywhere. But yeah, so it's winter is my busy season just because, like I said. But yeah, it's just kind of, pretty steady across the board. But I kind of pride myself on getting your stuff. But I fly. I don't want to be without my wing for 3 weeks. So I know you don't want to be either. So I'm going to try my very, very best to get your wing back to you as soon and as quick as I possibly can.
Appreciate that. Fabio 2101 wants to know, can I spray sunblock on my wing to make it last longer?
No.
Okay. There you go, Fabio.
Oh my gosh. Don't put anything like that on your wing. Don't try and clean it with any kind of soap or any kind of like Windex, anything like that. If you get, we actually had somebody borrowed one of our wings, our tandem wing, and we got it back, and they had like spit tobacco on the white underside of our wing, and it was like this big chaw on our wing. So it was stained on the underside. So we actually just took like a white washcloth and water and just kind of dab at it, and just you can clean them like that, but you don't want to use any kind of soap or anything like that to clean your wing. I get that question a lot, is can I wash it? Can I no.
Every year that I go out to Arizona, out to the desert, my white on my wings turns this like reddish.
Right.
And then every fall when I come back here and then go out east, it starts coming back to white just naturally,
Exactly.
rubbing the grass and stuff. So
they'll, if you land in your wing falls in a mud hole, it's gross. But eventually, like you said, you fly a couple of times in the morning, it gets wet with the dew. It'll eventually just kind of clean itself as much as it can. We really can't clean. I have a special soap that I have from like France that I can use to get really bad stains off, but I still have to just sit and kind of dab at it and do this over and over.
Use a pressure washer?
No pressure washer.
There is a great question.
Doing it all wrong.
No washing machine. No.
I did hear about somebody putting theirs in a washing machine.
Oh my gosh.
That was a thing that happened.
is that how you make a large wing into a medium?
The dryer, yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. I need a smaller wing. Shannon, can I just pop mine in the dryer for a couple minutes? No.
Yeah, I've got an extra large Rush 5, and it really needs to be a large. I mean, what, 10 minutes on dry?
Yeah, that seems fine.
High heat.
There you go. What happens if you just open it and the whole thing's just like melted to the sides?
We sell
Can you
wings.
fix that? Yeah, you sell wings.
Like I was at the Swanee fly-in, and Kyle Mooney says, "Don't worry if you break your prop because you're sitting down on your takeoffs. I got props here. I sell props." My buddy Tim Garvey asks a great question.
Hey,
here.
Tim.
Tim Garvey?
Yeah.
Cool. For long-term storage, is it better to just have it in a stuff sack or in a concertine folded? What's the best way to store it for long-term storage?
Long-term storage, stuff sack. Absolutely. If you have it concertina folded, just imagine that it's all folded up, and it's the concertina bags, especially, they kind of like fold into fourths, I think, or thirds, and then they're kind of just squished and zipped in. It compresses and it will create hard fold lines. So if you're going to store it for a long time over the winter or whatever, you want it in a stuff sack. Just like if you were going to air it out after you flew, just fluff it up, let it breathe. Don't store it where there might be critters, because they will live in your wing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to send it to me to have holes fixed in it. Because they will, if you store it somewhere where there might be little animals, your wing is a wonderful place for them to make their winter home.
Well, I already told Kevin it was off limits, so.
There you go. We are getting to the end of the show here. Craig Taylor just put windspppg.com website into the chat, so you can go ahead and check that out there. And your phone number as well. So your phone should be ringing any second now.
Lauren is on the phone.
I did put as far as those t-shirts, the Gorilla Win t-shirts, I put that link in a couple times into the chat, but I will go ahead and post it onto the Facebook pages, the Paramotor Facebook page and the Our Paramotor Nation Facebook page as well, so we can raise a little bit more money for Resurgence PPG and share our favorite gorilla on, I don't know where he went. I think he's gone again. On to a lesser weight, right? Dave, would you like to spin the wheel? So this week we're going to be spinning for the t-shirt that I showed earlier from Michael Mixer. Next week, we're going to do the $50 gift card for the paramotorprops.com from Travis Burns and Kyle Mooney. All right. So come back next week if you need a $50 gift card to help you. Everybody needs props, right, Shannon? Everybody breaks props. Sometimes you break a 6-bladed prop.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes I've seen it done. I've seen it. What, Kate? You're touching your nose.
Nose goes. Not it.
What?
No, I don't break props.
Oh, okay. Yes. Kate said before, I asked Kate, I said, have you ever damaged your wing? And Kate said to me, what? What did you say?
Oh, I said I was practically perfect in every way.
It's like Mary Poppins. Yes.
What's that from? Isn't that like Mary Poppins or something like that?
All right. Dave, how are we doing on the wheel?
Right now, I am just finishing it up, and I am ready to rock and roll.
All right, brother. Go ahead and share your screen.
Hey,
I can't share it.
I think that we need to add a little clicker button that I get to control whenever something happens. People can either cheer or clap, or like there can be a drum roll. So whenever we're spinning the wheel, I can like press the drum.
Okay, I muted her, Dave. Go ahead and whenever you're ready, go ahead and share your screen. Oh, we're turning the screen.
I thought it was a great idea.
See, the wheel is a real thing.
All right.
All right, here we go.
See, it needs a drum roll.
There's your drum roll.
It's not good enough.
Who's our winner tonight?
Drum roll.
Congratulations, Jay Bone of 522. You've won something. I have no idea what it is, but congratulations.
Dave,
In Dave's defense, he did miss out on
yes.
most of the show.
Dave, I didn't hear who you said that was.
Oh, do you really? Do I have to do this all over again? Look, I get paid for this announcer voice. All right. Just want to let you know, I get paid high dollar for this announcer voice. I'm going to do it one more time for you, Dave, but that's it.
That's it.
And it's only because Shannon and Kate are here. All right, here we go. We're going to do this again, okay? Yay! Hey, congratulations, J-Bone 522. Congratulations, you have won something. I have no idea what it is, but you've won.
It's right there. It's the t-shirt. I thought you were on the show when we talked.
No, he wasn't. He was gone.
No, I wasn't. I was
That's
gone.
your Paramotor's t-shirt from flyppg.com. Michael Mixer, thank you very much. So if you can go ahead and send either an email to paramotorcrazy@gmail.com, or you can go to the bottom of the website, www.ourparamotornation.com, fill out the form. Either way, it'll get to me, and I'll go ahead and forward that information on to Michael, and we'll go ahead and get that shipped over to you. Let me know what size t-shirt you need as well as your address.
Not all sizes fit you.
If you're taking orders, I'll take a small.
Yes, as someone on the panel told us, not all size coconut bras fit everybody. I'm not going to say who. Let's just leave it at that. All right.
I wasn't on the show during that.
Hey, we're going to wrap this show up. Would you tell us a little bit about next week's guest, and go ahead and make your little announcement that you'd like to make each week?
Oh, I get to do that?
You want to? I'm turning out, though.
Listen, it's Leah next week, is it not?
No. Is it Leah? Oh, gosh.
I think it's Leah. Yeah.
Not yet. Is it?
It's Leah Cadula.
Oh, you know what?
Wow, where is the month gone?
Oh, Kate, would you like to talk about our great
I'm stoked about next week's guest.
All right. So, hey, I'd like to talk about next week's guest and do my little thing, Kate. Can you mute her, please?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Done.
Hey, Kate, why don't you tell us about Leah?
All right. We got to wrap this show up, guys. Leah Catula will be on next week. Dave, go ahead and make your little spiel.
Guys, really appreciate you guys showing up tonight. Thank you so much for joining our Paramotor Nation. Really means a lot to us. You know, there is that little thumbs up down there. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the show, learned a little bit about wings, Guys, really, really need those thumbs up. It's how we get organic reach. It's how these videos reach out there. So take some time and hit those thumbs up. Please hit Paramotor Crazy. Hit what is it? Yes. Oh yes, subscribe to Paramotor Crazy. That's it. Wait, hold on for a second. He wrote me to say something. Hold on. And I ripped it up. Tell them, guys, please subscribe to Paramotor Crazy and hit the thumbs up, and also hit the notification so you can see all his really cool videos when he picks on his good friends that support him through so much. I can't do it anymore. I can't. Kate, do you?
Yeah, that's what Dave's really trying to say. What else? I'm trying to end the stream here. My computer. Hey, we got so this far. We did good. Shannon, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope it wasn't as painful as we anticipated it to be. But
no, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You know what I also need to do is I need to put the meeting ID and
after show?
Yeah, we'll do the after show too. So give me just a second. Kate, talk for a second while I'm trying to get that, would you? Back to
gosh, stop pushing.
Wah, 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 wah.
Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much. Hey, Shannon, do you want to website and phone number and all that stuff? Give a plug for how people can reach you.
Yep. So you can reach us at www.4windspppg.com. You can email me at 4windspppg@gmail.com. Or and like I said, on our website is my phone number. If you need to get in touch with me, if you call me and I don't answer, it's usually because I am sewing. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just either in the middle of an inspection and I can't stop what I'm doing, which I'm sure if it's your wing, you appreciate that. But yeah, so just if I don't answer, leave me a message or text me and I'll get right back to you as soon as I can.
Now, Shannon, I also happen to know, too, that you have a YouTube channel because I myself have enjoyed plenty of your morning antic videos. Did you want to share that? No? Okay. All right, guys.
Four Winds has a channel, and then I have a knitting channel for all of the other PPG knitters out there.
There you go.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What is it?
The Flying Knitter.
I'm gonna go.
It's called para knitting.
Knitting. Is it kind of like, crocheting, or is it like?
It's everything.
Because I really suck at that.
Look, it is like half knitting, half paramotoring. It's a hilarious channel. Shannon, if I put you on the spot, I apologize, but I really have enjoyed some of those videos.
What is it?
The Flying Knitter.
I got this.
All right, guys, be sure you join the Flying Knitter. Guys, if I can, Dave, real quick, make sure you guys are joining us on Wednesday night for the After Dark edition of our Paramotor Nation. Make sure you guys are hitting the PPG Gorilla thumbs up and subscribe. And, of course, Trike Flyer thumbs up and subscribe. And Just Kate's Journey up on Instagram. Dave, back to you.
All right, guys, thank you so much again. Shannon and Lauren on the side there. Thank you, sir. We're going to go ahead and end it now. We're going to try to end it now. Just came up for a second there and then it went away.
We're done.
People waiting.
Can we please get off this channel?
All right, guys. I'm trying. The thing, it's we got.
No, we're not going to have a repeat of last week.
Hey,
up till this point. Yes, go ahead, Kate.
I'm sorry. My.
All right, now I'm ready to stop it. All right, we're killing it. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next week. See you on Wednesday night for After Dark. Oh my God, the damn thing just went away. Would you like to end the stream? I'm like,
Dave,
yes.
This is why I end mine with music, because it gives me 3 minutes to figure out what button I'm pressing.
No, you're pushing my buttons. I know that, man. I hate this. Swear to God. All right, back to you, Shannon.
Guys, thanks for hopping on and joining. I don't know how many are on here, but I'm seeing a lot of people in the chats.
Yeah, thanks for all your questions.
I was beaten to it. I had it planned out. I had the whole thing planned.
Bye. Hanging up. Bye-bye. Here it goes. Ending now.
The white zone is for parking and
Ending live stream.
Passenger drop-off only. There is no parking in the white zone. The red zone is for passenger drop-off and parking. I don't know. Is the show over yet?
We're still on.